When Stefon Diggs made a public comment about a smelly BBL, it did more than spark drama with Cardi B. It exposed a hidden risk of one of the world's most popular cosmetic surgeries. What started as a viral tweet quickly spiraled into a heated debate, not just about celebrity feuds, but about the real dangers lurking behind the scenes of cosmetic enhancements. Suddenly, millions were talking about something most people would rather ignore: the medical complications that can follow a Brazilian butt lift. This isn't just celebrity gossip, it's a real medical issue. When a high-profile athlete brings up a topic like this, it forces the public to confront uncomfortable truths. The risks of cosmetic surgery are often downplayed, but for doctors and patients, they're all too real. An unpleasant odor from a surgical site is a red flag, often signaling infection or tissue death. These aren't minor side effects. They can be life-threatening if not treated quickly. Infections can spread rapidly, and tissue necrosis means the skin or fat cells are literally dying, which can lead to permanent damage or even require emergency surgery. As a dermatologist, I see what happens when the skin is compromised, especially after invasive procedures like a Brazilian butt lift. Patients often come in worried about how they look, but the real concern is what's happening beneath the surface. The skin is our first line of defense, and when it's breached, bacteria can enter and wreak havoc. The suggestion of a foul smell points to serious complications, like infection, tissue necrosis, or poor hygiene. These issues can escalate quickly, sometimes requiring hospitalization, IV antibiotics, or even additional surgeries to remove dead tissue. It's a stark reminder that cosmetic surgery is never risk-free. This controversy forces us to look past the glamour and confront the biological realities of surgery. Social media is filled with flawless before and after photos, but rarely do we see the bruises, swelling, or the risk of infection that can come with these procedures. The truth is, the journey to those perfect results can be long, painful, and sometimes dangerous. Many focus on the final result, not the gritty, sometimes dangerous recovery. The reality is, patients often face weeks of discomfort, limited mobility, and the constant fear of complications. Recovery isn't just about physical healing, it's also an emotional and psychological challenge. Let's break down what's really happening beneath the surface and why it matters for anyone considering a BBL. Understanding the risks, the warning signs, and the realities of recovery is crucial. If you're thinking about cosmetic surgery, make sure you know the facts, not just the fantasy. The internet loves a clash, especially when it's between an NFL star and a music icon. When Diggs' comment about BBLs went viral, it wasn't just a personal jab, it tapped into bigger conversations about beauty standards and body modification. Cardi B's openness about her surgeries helped destigmatize the topic, so Diggs' claim felt like a critique of the procedure and those who choose it. The smelly BBL detail made the drama more than gossip. It became a public health talking point. Suddenly, people were searching for terms like fat necrosis and post-op infection. This celebrity feud unexpectedly pushed a serious medical issue into the mainstream. What exactly is a Brazilian butt lift, or BBL? While it's often talked about as a beauty trend, there's much more to it than meets the eye. The BBL has become one of the most sought-after cosmetic procedures in recent years, but it's important to understand what it really involves before considering it for yourself. At its core, a BBL is a fat transfer procedure, meaning there are no artificial implants involved. Instead, surgeons use your own body fat, moving it from areas where you have excess, like the abdomen or thighs, and transferring it to your buttocks to enhance shape and volume. The process starts with liposuction, where fat is carefully removed from targeted areas. This fat is then purified to remove impurities and excess fluids, making it safe for re-injection. Finally, the surgeon meticulously injects the fat into different layers of the buttocks, sculpting a fuller, more contoured look that's tailored to each patient's body. However, not all of the transferred fat will survive. For the fat to remain, your body must establish a new blood supply to nourish it. If this doesn't happen, the fat cells die off and are reabsorbed, which can affect the final results and even lead to complications. The most serious risk associated with BBL is fat embolism. This occurs if fat accidentally enters a blood vessel and travels to the lungs or heart, which can be fatal. It's a rare but very real danger that makes this procedure riskier than many other cosmetic surgeries. Other complications can include uneven or lumpy results, where the fat doesn't settle smoothly, as well as infection, tissue death, and scarring. Sometimes, patients are left with asymmetry or areas that feel hard to the touch, which can be distressing and require further treatment. Like any surgery, a BBL opens the door to bacteria, especially if sterile techniques aren't followed or if aftercare is neglected. Proper hygiene and diligent post-op care are essential to reduce the risk of infection and promote healing. If the transferred fat doesn't receive enough blood, it can die, leading to tissue necrosis. This dead tissue can become a breeding ground for bacteria, resulting in infection, foul odor, and even more serious health issues that may require additional surgery to correct. It's important to remember that a BBL is a major surgical procedure, not just a quick fix or a simple beauty treatment. The recovery process can be lengthy and uncomfortable, and the risks are significant. Unfortunately, the risks are sometimes downplayed in social media and advertising, but they are very real and can have life-altering consequences. It's crucial to be fully informed and realistic about what's involved. Before making any decisions, take the time to research, consult with qualified professionals, and weigh the potential benefits against the possible dangers. Understanding these risks is essential for anyone considering a BBL. Fat necrosis, dead fat, is a real risk after a BBL. If new fat cells don't get enough blood, they die and break down, forming hard lumps. The real danger comes when bacteria invade this dead tissue, releasing foul-smelling gases. The odor is often described as rancid or rotten, a clear sign something's wrong. Fat necrosis is more common than most realize, especially with inexperienced surgeons or poor technique. Smokers and those with poor circulation are at higher risk. A foul odor signals a medical emergency, potentially an abscess or even sepsis. Immediate medical attention is needed, often involving antibiotics or surgery. The smelly BBL isn't just an insult, it's a warning sign. Recognizing it early can prevent disaster. Fat necrosis isn't the only cause of post-BBL odor. There are actually several other factors that can contribute to unpleasant smells after surgery, and understanding them is key to a healthy recovery. Many patients are surprised to learn that even with the best intentions, it's easy for odors to develop if certain steps are missed. Compression garments, which are worn almost around the clock during recovery, play a big role. These tight-fitting garments are essential for shaping and support, but they can also trap sweat, body fluids, and bacteria, especially if they aren't washed and dried thoroughly and frequently. If you skip a wash or don't let them dry completely, bacteria can multiply quickly. Dirty or damp garments create a musty, sour smell, not as severe as necrosis, but still unpleasant and embarrassing. The odor can cling to your skin and linger in your home, making it hard to feel fresh or comfortable during recovery. Poor wound care is another major culprit. If incisions aren't kept clean, bacteria can enter and cause infection. Infected wounds may ooze pus and produce a sickly sweet or foul odor, which is a clear sign that medical attention is needed. Recovery itself is awkward. No sitting, limited movement, and often a lot of discomfort. These restrictions make it much harder to keep up with personal hygiene, especially when you're tired or in pain. Inadequate cleaning after using the bathroom is a common issue. If you're not able to wash thoroughly, bacteria can easily be introduced near surgical sites, increasing the risk of infection and odor. Any lapse in hygiene, no matter how small, can open the door to infection and unpleasant smells. Even missing a single cleaning can have consequences. Cleanliness becomes a full-time job during recovery. It's not just about washing your hands, but also disinfecting surfaces, keeping medical equipment sterile, and making sure your environment is as clean as possible. The difference between a smooth, odor-free recovery and a smelly, complicated one often comes down to aftercare. Following your surgeon's instructions and being diligent with hygiene can make all the difference. Don't underestimate the basics. Clean garments, clean wounds, and careful hygiene are your best defense against post-surgical odors and complications. Taking these steps seriously will help you heal faster and feel more confident throughout your recovery. Spotting infection early is critical after a BBL. The biggest red flag? A foul, putrid smell from the surgical area. Don't mask it. Call your surgeon immediately. Watch for swelling that worsens, warmth, redness, or pain that intensifies instead of improving. Discharge that turns thick, yellow, or green is a sign of pus and infection. Fever, chills, and body aches mean the infection could be spreading. Pain should decrease over time. If it suddenly spikes or becomes severe, it's a warning. Combine these signs: odor, swelling, fever, discharge, pain, and you have a medical emergency. Don't wait or self-treat. Prompt action can save your health. Listen to your body. It's telling you something's wrong. Picture 2 BBL patients. Patient A follows every aftercare rule: clean garments, sterile incisions, careful hygiene, and no shortcuts. She uses 2 compression garments, cleans wounds twice daily, and avoids pressure on her buttocks. Her recovery is uncomfortable but controlled, minimizing risk. Patient B, on the other hand, cuts corners, wears the same garment for days, neglects wound care, and puts pressure on healing tissue. Her garment starts to smell, incisions become red, and pus appears. She ignores the warning signs, and infection sets in. The difference isn't luck, it's diligence. Good aftercare prevents complications. Neglect invites disaster. The Smelly BBL scenario is preventable with proper hygiene and attention. Your recovery is in your hands. Choose the clean path. The Diggs Cardi B drama, seen through a medical lens, highlights a real risk. A foul odor after BBL signals severe complications. This isn't just gossip, it's a public service announcement. The smell means bacteria are breaking down dead tissue, and it's a crisis, not a character flaw. The controversy forced a private medical issue into public view, prompting real conversations about surgical risks. Anyone can face these complications, even with good care. The key is recognizing the signs and acting fast. Behind every viral story is a real medical lesson. Don't ignore the warning signs. Your health depends on it. A BBL is not a spa treatment. It's major surgery with life-altering risks. The Smelly BBL controversy shines a light on the dangers: tissue death, infection, sepsis, and permanent scarring. Before considering surgery, educate yourself. Read real stories, learn the risks, and know the warning signs. Your best defense is knowledge. Choose a board-certified, experienced surgeon. Don't bargain shop for your health. Ask about complication rates and aftercare plans. Your safety should always come first. The pursuit of perfection should never cost your health. Social media shows the highlights, not the risks. A BBL can have beautiful results or devastating consequences. Prioritize safety, do your research, and listen to your body. In surgery, your body's warning signs can save your life.